In the times to come, the journey of human beings will undergo a profound transformation. The very environment will change. Within a person, a certain maturity will arise. A deep connection with nature, with the cosmos itself. He will begin to connect with this universe, and conditions will unfold to make that connection possible. Then, within an individual, beyond all forms, a moment will arise, an inner happening, where he begins to realize himself. At that point, a true revolution will take place within him. Not the building of a house, not the buying of a car, not the elevation of one's external background, but the realization of who am I? That alone will stand as something higher than all else. Nothing can equal it. That is the significance of what is to come. And when such a state arises, nothing in your background, no circumstance, no condition, will stand in judgment over you. The cosmos itself will reshape your life. In a different form, it will become a moment of wonder. And in that transformation, that radiance, that light, you will behold it within yourself. You will see it. It will be like entering an entirely different dimension, a space of rare and luminous experience. When you go to a diamond shop, you take a diamond and admire it shine. But in the hands of a realized one, that very diamond can be touched, as though life is infused into it, as though it could move, as though it could even walk. Do you understand? Why is this so? Because diamond, gold, silver, all these are born of a cosmic process. They are, in essence, fragments that have descended from the stars. The oils we use, petrol, diesel, all these too arise from subtle life elements that have settled into the earth. The rocks we call precious stones, the minerals we extract, all of them are formed from energies that have descended from cosmic radiation, taking shape over time. If gold is found within a rock, it is not by chance. It has not simply appeared. Stars have burned, their essence has fallen, buried within the earth for ages, mingling with stone, and through time, transforming into gold. This is its journey. This is its form. Thus, we begin to understand the conditions within all things. You must realize that countless, millions, billions of subtle particles are constantly moving from the earth into its depths. In the same way, it is said, what is in the cosmos is in the body. But what is this cosmos? It is merely the sky above, and the individual body merely what we are. Right. Now, look deeper. The cosmos is the inner awareness. This body is the outer awareness. Yet we see them as separate. Earth as one, sky as another, ourselves as one, the universe as another. But the moment we understand that we and the cosmos are one, we begin to perceive that the macrocosm and this individual body stand as one. As long as we remain outward-facing, we cannot feel this inner awareness. That inner awareness, it is the inner breath, the subtle movement within. It is this inner process that creates the possibility for us to know who we truly are. When we move outward, we interact with everything around us. But when we turn inward, when meditation arises within, a connection opens, not just with ourselves, but with many realized beings. At times, I may appear in your dream, and, at that very moment, you may also appear in mine. While you sit somewhere, absorbed in meditation, it may be shown to me, as a vision, or within meditation, that someone is thinking of me. In that vision, what is revealed is not that the person is a realized being, but that within him, meditation has begun. When that inner awareness starts to function, when that subtle frequency moves within him, the transformation taking place in him is reflected within me. That is its nature. That is how it works. It is not that I have physically gone to hundreds of places. When both inner awareness and outer awareness are understood, one need not travel anywhere. Within a few moments, the very sense of having reached a place can arise within. The condition, the experience of that place, can be created while remaining where you are. Consider this. To reach a distant land like the United States, one must obtain a passport, a visa, board a flight, and travel for many hours. But for one who has realized, just as a phone connects across distance, a subtle connection can be established from here to there. It is not about physically appearing elsewhere, but about the mind and awareness, bridging distance. Through such interconnection, one may feel present in another place, and even participate inwardly in what unfolds there. Then even there, an action can take form. Let us say, I am here, and my guru is in California. From here I send him a message, not through words, but by sitting in meditation and holding him in awareness. In a moment, something is felt within him. And what does he say? The place where you are, that itself is California. That word arises within me. When such a word arises, we feel as though someone has spoken to us. But this is the movement of frequency. Through such subtle alignment, a form of communication happens. It is not about distance, but about attunement. And through this attunement, much can be shared, much can be done. This is something you must come to understand. In the same way, all that exists in this world, the cell phone, electricity, and every invention of man, did not begin with human beings. Before the forms of man and woman arose, this life already existed. Before humanity was born, before male and female came into being, before electricity was discovered, this living essence was already present on earth. It existed as the 5 elements, as water, as earth, as trees, as air. All of this came before man. Then a human being arrives and discovers electricity, invents the phone, creates the train, builds the airplane. But in truth, these are not entirely new. They are expressions of something that already existed, as subtle frequencies, as living particles, as unseen currents, moving within the vast openness. Flight existed, as the quality of movement through space. Communication existed, as the transmission of signals from one place to another. The nature of water, the essence within all forms, all of this was present long before human form appeared. The light that comes through electricity, that light was once a star. The fire we use as fuel, its essence too, has always existed in nature. Before man appeared on earth, there existed a formless field, a play of frequencies, a living presence without a body. Later, within that same field, forms arose, human, animal, male and female. But man began to think, we are superior, animals are lesser. And he pushed aside the deeper workings of light, of nature, of the cosmos, as though they belonged to something distant, something separate. Thus, he created a divide, imagining that these forces exist elsewhere, in some other form, instead of recognizing that they are already here, within and around him. Thus, people regard their discoveries and their actions as something supreme and ancient, and in doing so, they overlook what already exists. The moon was there before any of you appeared. Before you came into being, the moon had already risen. It waxed and waned, from crescent to fullness, from fullness back to silence. There was the full moon. There was the growing crescent. Yet there was no one to walk beneath it, no one to witness it, because man had not yet been born. The sun was there, yet no one was there to see it. The 27 stars were there, yet no one to observe them. The 9 planets were in motion, yet no human existed. Before you came into this world, all of this was already in operation. But today, the human mind imagines, as though these came into being, only in relation to us, as though their existence depends on our knowing. This is an illusion of perception. For some, it is difficult to grasp this inwardly. But if this is understood, everything begins to fall into place. It may not be understood immediately. Even as I speak, it may not fully enter you. Why? Because the mind does not accept it at once. But when the mind becomes still, even for a moment, what is being said will begin to settle within you. But what happens within you? The mind begins its own discussion. It takes what is heard and places it under examination. Oh, this has been said. Let me analyze it. Let me calculate. Let me see if this aligns with that. Let me derive its meaning. Another kind of mind does not analyze at all. It simply assumes. If they have said it, it must be right. Yet such a mind neither inquires nor reflects. It merely accepts. Then there is another. Whatever you say must be correct. It moves in blind agreement. Among those here, many may feel the same. Whatever is spoken is true. Another mind says, I will examine what you say. Another, I will not accept any of this. Yet another declares, this is all imagination, nothing but fiction. And another wonders, what is the meaning of all this talk? Thus, within a single human being, the mind creates many voices, many positions, many conflicting movements. See how the mind divides one into many. Thus it is the mind that destroys a man or a woman. It is not poverty that kills you. It is not disease that consumes you. It is not the world around you that defeats you. It is the mind. For what first establishes a sense of trust within a human being? What stands as God for him? When that inner sense of trust is not felt, life fractures. A wealthy man may suffer in isolation. Another lives in poverty. Yet what is poverty? It is simply his way of life. In his home, there may be nothing to eat. At the ration shop, he buys 5 or 10 kilos of rice. He cooks it, pours water over it, eats it with a little onion, touches a bit of pickle. He does not know what the next meal will be. He owns only 2 or 3 worn clothes. He has no land of his own. He works for others to survive. And yet he lives. But within him arises a thought. God has not given to us. God has not shown us grace. This is how we are meant to live. Thus, the mind shapes his reality, not merely his circumstances. Now consider one who is realized, one who has risen through meditation. He lives the very same life. But when you go to him and ask, inquiry in your heart, what is this life you live? He replies, this is myself. This is my way of living. I am not poor. I am this. I eat in this way. I live in this way. This is what the present time has given. Because I understand the nature of this time, I do not move against it. I live in harmony with it. And in that, I am at ease. The thought, today I am poor, tomorrow I must become rich, does not arise in me. What you call poverty is simply my way of life. This is how I live. And I live it fully. I live this life with care. I live it with love. Such is his state. In the same way, when illness arises, like cancer in the body of Ramakrishna Paramahansa, he does not see it as something separate. He says, it is not cancer. That too is Ramakrishna. You see it as merely a disease. But it is none other than myself. It has come to live within me for some years. How can I reject it? I cannot cast it out. I must be with it. I must move as it. When this is not understood within, what happens? I go to a doctor, and when I am not healed, I feel deceived. I go to a guru. I have cancer. Please cure me. And when nothing changes, again I feel deceived. I turn to my relatives, and when they are unable to care for me as I expect, I feel let down once more. What is happening here? The illness itself may bring 35% suffering, but through my expectations of the guru, of society, of relationships, and even of myself, I grieve, I lament, I collapse inwardly, and I increase that suffering to 60%. Now, the disease is one part, and I become another. Then I begin to question, why this birth? Why this life? And in that questioning, I diminish myself and continue to live in that burden. Look at the lives of those in the cities. What do people do? They do not accept what has been given to them. Instead, They abandon what is present and struggle endlessly for what is not. Before your very eyes, there stands the one who has tied the sacred thread with you, your partner in life. Yet the mind imagines, perhaps someone else should have come into my life. Perhaps life could have been different. Perhaps it could have been better. Within each person, these silent discussions continue. In many homes, the same thought arises. This house is small. Could it not have been a grand one? Why is it not something more? But life does not transform through such restless comparison. Change does not come because the mind demands it. Yet what has already been given is not accepted. Something has come into your hands. Should it not be received? If suddenly 5 kilos of gold were given to you, would you not accept it? Some would accept it without hesitation. Some might hesitate, but many would receive it. In the same way, this life too has been given. Yet you say, I will not accept it. When you refuse to accept, no one else loses. You are the one who loses. No one else suffers. You are the one who suffers. If water does not come to your home, who feels the burden most? You do. But if you first accept, this is the situation, water is not coming, then naturally, the intelligence to create a solution begins to arise. Acceptance is not the end. It is the beginning of clarity. Therefore, a person must first cultivate the maturity to accept their own life. This is how I am. This is how my life is. From there, right action can emerge. So what I say is this: whether you are poor or whether you are wealthy, accept it and then live it fully from within that state. This is what matters most. What has been given within one's life, one's child, one's spouse, one's home, one's relationships, one's society, one's place. If all of this is accepted with a sense of quiet contentment, then a profound transformation can take place in life. This is the natural way, and this itself becomes the foundation for realizing the self. If it is not accepted, life begins to distort and move away from its truth. In the same way, when a soul receives the guidance of a guru, if it truly accepts it, it opens the way for self-realization. At the moment of acceptance, it may not be understood. One may not grasp its depth. The word, the mantra, may not yet be lived. Yet, because it has been accepted, one day, that very teaching begins to transform one's life. And that transformation is the meaning of it.